Let's talk about having a successful phone jam. So you watch the videos in training, you're at the section now where it's time for you to make phone calls. This is the scariest part of the job. I'm sure you're nervous. I'm sure you have some sweaty pits. I'm sure you're questioning who to call and should I start calling and all that. So I want to guide you on a few tips leading up to your phone jam. And then you're going to make 15 calls. And then I'm going to give you some final tips and takeaways from the phone jam here. So if you're not doing training as a group together here, this is going to help you out tremendously. And I need you to text your captain, text your manager right now. Hey, I'm on the phoning section. I'm about to phone. So we can give you some tips and guidance and probably even get a phone call with you potentially to role play the phone approach a little bit or just hype you up. So let me go through a few things before you start making some phone calls. First of all, why do you want the customer to view a demo from their computer versus their phone? Well, think about why do people go to the movies instead of watching TV at home, right? It's a bigger experience. It's a cooler experience to be in the theaters. And on their phone, they're moving around. They're probably not paying full attention to you. They're probably distracted. And all the videos you can't control. So on their phone, they actually have to hit play on all of them. So you can't tell where they're at. It's kind of a cluster. So you definitely want them on their computer. The stats show from thousands and thousands and thousands of demos done this year that they are 70% more likely to buy if they're on a computer versus a phone. So if you want to make 70% more income and have 70% more success, make sure they know that, hey, we do this on a computer. It's just the way it is. Next is you're going to want to queue up your top people. You saw this in the videos, but I don't know if you actually did it yet. So you want to queue them up. So in the phoning section, it's very easy to get distracted and to have doubts and to think about who am I going to call next? And then you're thinking instead of taking action. So here's my recommendation is when you go to your Vector Impact app, so go there now and go to the Phone Now section. This is your whole list of prospects. You're going to want to call and order these people. And it's going to be some easy people first. I'd put 1, 2, and 3, like mom, grandma, maybe stepdad, whoever you have for your top few that are really simple, that you know are going to be easy to book up and are really beneficial for you. Then when you work out some of the jitters, you can put, the next people are people already interested. So people you already told about the job. People already said, oh yeah, totally, I'd totally help you out. And then after that, it's actually not in here, but it's Cutco owners. Cutco owners absolutely love Cutco. They're going to help your belief. They're going to help your confidence. So anyone that has a knife emoji by them, you're going to want to put them in your list. And then I'd put your Vegas. So who's your Vegas person? Who's it going to be? And then the rest of your top 10. So when you call your top 15 here, that's going to allow you to show your top people first to build momentum, get great recommendations, and really get your career started with us. As you're doing this, to give them a heads up, this is money. We did not do this until just a year or two ago, but everyone's on their phone, everyone's texting, and a lot of calls aren't going to go through right away or be picked up. Most people respond quicker to a text. So we've prepared that. So when you go through now, you have them queued up. Before you call your people, you want to go through your top 15, go to each one of them and hit text and go to pre-call prospect outreach. Really slick. You'll see it show up in your text and for you to send it to them. It's basically like, hey, I have a favor to ask you. Are you available for a few minutes for me to call you? That's it. So that's going to help you get a lot of people. And I would call them first as they're reaching out to you. I would respond right away and give them a call and then go through your top 15 as they're queued up. So that's what you want to do first. Then you want to double text them, double tap, I should say, which means you pre-call. If they didn't respond, you call them twice. Like my phone and most adults' phones, they have their phone on silent. So the call doesn't even go through unless you call them twice. And then finally, post-call text. If they've not responded to your text and not picked up, you just send them this text, which again, it's right here, text, post-call prospect outreach. And it says, hey, it's Jason. You might have seen a missed call from me. I was calling quick to ask a quick favor. It takes about 3 minutes to explain. When might be a good time for me to call you? Thanks. So really your 15 phone calls, you should be booking up by the end of the night, like 10-ish of those by the time you pre-call text, double tap, and post-call text. So that's how you do it. Remember, you want to show to Mac customers, HM30s. Don't be shooting any half-court shots. Only do three-pointers if they're approved by us. You don't have to ask for permission if mom is divorced or grandma's widowed, but you want to stick to layups all day in your first few days. And if there's anyone who's suspect, who's a three-pointer or half-court, make sure you're waiting till after your first weekend or 4 days or so on the job. So you have more experience and more confidence to potentially handle those. And it's up to you. You can't control who picks up. You can't control how many calls you make. So we're expecting you to make 15 phone calls right now. If you only make 10, hey, it's your paycheck. It's your success. We're not here to babysit. We're not here to push you along. We're here to encourage you and inspire you, but it's completely up to you. Your paycheck is a direct reflection of you. So if you only make 10 calls, that's fine. 15 is the mission. You go above and beyond, 20 calls. That's what you want to do. You also want to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Just do it. Get outside your comfort zone. Make some calls. You're going to see how simple it is. So before you make 15 phone calls, make sure you text your captain if you haven't already. Hey, I'm about to make some phone calls. I'm on that section of training. And the customer can't tell if you're nervous. Just read the script. Again, you can't control who picks up. You can't control how many calls you make. Don't think, don't worry. The 10-second rule is great because you're just going to the next person in the queue or the next person who texted you back to give them a call and get those demos booked. If someone says, I'll call you back, say, great. When is a good time for me to call you back? You are like their 20th priority after a bunch of stuff. So don't hope they call you back and then you're waiting around. Just ask, hey, when's a good time? Oh, 7:30? Cool. I'll call you back then. It's more of a priority for you to get a hold of them than for them to call you back. Build rapport, not for 10 minutes. You might need to cut grandma off. Tell them you have plenty of time on the demo to catch up, but when you are on the phone, blame us. Say, I'm at work right now. I'm making phone calls. I got to go. I'm real excited to catch up though on our demo. They'll want to catch up, but they don't realize like, hey, you're making a lot of phone calls and you got to go. So build rapport for like 1 minute, right? Say, hey, how are you? Do you have any fun plans for the week? And just anything else that connects you for a second or two, and then boom, go right into it. Tell close people that you need to read a script. It's okay to say, hey, Aunt Susie, I'm nervous. You're like my fourth call. I'm going to read a script. Don't make fun of me, please. There you go. Write appointments down on your calendar. So they're going to be booked up. When you book up the demo in Vector Connect, it's going to show up on your Vector or on Vector Impact. It's going to show up on your Vector Connect account as well as your Vector Impact app. But I'm sure you're not always looking at that. So make sure you're writing in your calendar, your appointments that you're booking around your other busy schedules. All right. Now is the time to get work done. Don't go clean your room and feed your dog because you're nervous. Take action right away. Make at least 15 phone calls and smile while you dial and read the script. That's simple. Just do that and you will be great. So good luck on the phone jam. You got this and crush it. All right, pause this if you haven't already yet. Make 15 calls. All right, so let's talk about the phone jam, post phone jam thoughts. So look at your stats here. So we can see all your stats. We can see how many calls you made, who picked up, how many texts you sent, and all that. So just as you're noticing, it's a 4-to-1 ratio. I bet your ratio was better. So it was less than 4 actions to get a demo booked. So if you take a look, if you made 15 phone calls, if you sent out 15 texts, 15 phone calls, it's probably going to look like you doing, it's probably going to look like you probably getting a hold of like 10 people and booking up like 8 appointments. Okay. So that's how it's going to look. I bet you called someone who you were nervous. It worked out well, didn't it? You just followed the script and booked it up. Nice job. You are growing. And by the way, phoning during the afternoon is not a great phone time. Every hour that it gets later is a better, more efficient time to phone. So take a look at that and make sure you're looking at your schedule. If you're not fully booked for your next 3 or 4 days, make sure you're booking up demos and that every hour that goes by, it's more efficient. So from 5 to 6 is not as efficient as 6 to 7, and so on up till I would not phone past 9 o'clock unless if you really know them. But 9 o'clock is when I would cut it off, and 8 to 9 p.m. is the most efficient. So make sure you're phoning to get your demos booked. We got that. If you're in training, take a quick break. I'd recommend make another 15 phone calls, right? And based on what time it is as you're watching this, that it's later tonight or tomorrow morning, you make another 15 phone calls to finish booking up your weekend of demos. Hope you got your Vegas booked. Hope you got some Cutco owners booked. You're gonna explode on those. And were you surprised at how easy it was to just read the script and it worked, right? Did you think on your first demo booking up, you're like, oh, great, that worked, really? You wanna do demo? But that's how the demo is gonna be. It's gonna be just like that. You read the script and make it happen. And then bonus call wave, if you're watching this after day 2 training, based on when you're watching these, know that it's good to make phone calls in the morning. Morning time is awesome before people are off to work and you catch them in the morning. So that's great. A record, by the way, of booking up demos by the time they finished training was Remy, who booked up 28 appointments before leaving day 3 training. All right, so let's give you some assignments. So for the 3rd day of training, based on when or how you're watching this here, remember, you want to get to mission 100 with names and numbers. That's going to be huge for you to have a lot of resources to call. Make sure you're booking up 10 to 20 demos here to get the ball rolling. And then be disciplined and responsible with the rest of training. So great job so far. We're pumped for you, excited to bring you on the team. Good luck with the rest of calling and the rest of training, and have a great rest of your day.